Hello, Infinity Dove family. My name is Kirsten, and today I have a couples pick a pile reading for you. I'm using the Love Dynamics deck and the Everyday Oracle. And we have 3 piles for you to choose from. Pile number 1 is the Lemurian Crystal, pile number 2 is the Jade, and pile number 3 is the Amethyst. Go ahead and take a moment to tune into which pile is right for you. And later after this post, I will have timestamps and you can go directly to your pile. All right, so let's begin with pile number 1. I've already pre-shuffled and laid the cards. And if you have picked pile number 1, this is your story for the month of December. So we have the 10 of Wands, the 5 of Cups, clarified by Desperado. We have the 3 of Wands. Then we have the Temperance, the 9 of Wands. This is clarified by Melancholia. Then we have Justice Reverse. Then we have the Queen of Coins, the 5 of Swords, clarified by Sighs, Suspiri. And I'll be moving the board up and down so that you can see the cards more easily as we go. But for right now, let's just get them on the board, right? And 10 of Cups shows up, and we've got the 2 of Wands, and Falsita finishes out the reading. Okay, so let's start with the top row. This represents the earlier part of the month or the past coming into the month, right? The middle section represents the present time or the middle of the month, right? Depending on how you read it. So we'll go with middle of the month energy. And then the final row represents the future or the end of the month. Okay, and then we have outcome card over here. So let's get started reading the challenge card first. So we've got the 5 of Cups reversed and Desperado. This is about getting over something, not being able to get over something. It's a challenge to get over something. Let me say that again. This is about getting over something, right? But the challenge is to get over it. There's still grief going on in the relationship. There's still an effort to heal, but jealousy and mistrust or old pain keeps creeping in. Somebody's trying to let go of the past, but they're having a difficulty. They haven't fully released the suspicion or their heartbreak around betrayal or comparison. This could be someone outside the relationship or just emotional fear that the same pain will repeat again. Your card shows up as the 10 of Wands. So you're holding the whole connection on your shoulders right now, emotionally, mentally, maybe even physically. It feels like you're the one doing all the work. And you haven't dropped it. There's loyalty in that. You're showing yourself to be loyal. And you're doing all the work. Your partner shows up as the 3 of Wands. Right? They feel optimistic. They're waiting for results. They're looking ahead, anticipating what's coming next. They're expectantly waiting on communication or results or progress in love. Even though things may have been distant between you. That's just what the back of the card says. It makes me feel like they're standing back a little, waiting for things to improve, possibly hoping that time will soften things between you. The partner may have been more passive recently, trusting that space and distance could bring healing to the situation. So this implies that you are the one still holding on and unable to get over whatever it is, and you're still carrying the burden of it. And the partner is waiting and hoping and trusting that things will get better soon in time. Both of you are still recovering from something painful. But you've been the one actively carrying the emotional labor. Your partner's been in waiting mode, not withdrawing, but definitely observing from a distance, hoping and believing that things will get better. Now we move more towards the middle of the month. We've got the Temperance, the Nine of Wands, Melancholia, and Justice reversed. So the challenge card is the Nine of Wands, clarified by Melancholia. So this is emotional exhaustion. Totally exhausted, plain and simple. Someone, maybe both of you, are tired of being sad. I feel it's you. The heaviness is wearing on both of you, though. This is mutual energy. But there's still hope, right? The Nine of Wands, there's still hope if you don't give up. You show up as a Temperance. You're doing your best to keep the peace, to keep the harmony, to stay patient, to wait for the connection to realign, to give you what you need. And you're spiritually tuned in right now, trying to give to it what it needs, right? Trying to alchemize it. And you're being very patient, just doing what you can to heal the situation. But your partner is the Justice reverse. So this is about not taking accountability. So they're either refusing to take accountability for their part in the pain caused, or they genuinely feel misunderstood and wronged. Either way, they're stuck in a victim lens or mentality, and it's blocking them from showing up fully and honestly for you. That's what's so exhausting. That's the dynamic. You're doing all this work trying to heal a situation, and they're not taking any accountability, or they may be blaming you for their issues as well. So you're still trying to mend things. Your partner's stuck in the blame and victim mode. They aren't taking accountability. This impedes you from getting over it. So the connection remains in a fragile state. Yet I still see you both fighting and holding on to each other. Not breaking that tie. You're determined to hold on and pick up the slack where they're lacking. You have a sense of loyalty that's maybe a little misfounded. Next, we have the Queen of Coins, the Five of Swords, the Ten of Coins, Ten of Cups. Sorry, Suspirius clarifies the Five of Swords, Ten of Cups, and then Two of Wands and Falsita. Can you see? There we go. You can see that a little bit. Let me just look at the cards and have some coffee. Hold on. This is about head games. Power struggles, head games, unfinished business, emotional manipulation, pride stand in the way of deeper connection. I feel like emotional games and unspoken resentment are still evident in the relationship. Nothing's been resolved. There's still conflict here between you. So you're doing all this heavy labor. You're striving to keep the peace and the harmony between you. You know that healing takes time, but all they're doing is waiting and not taking any accountability. So before anything can move forward, you need to clear the conflict between you, and that hasn't been addressed. It's because someone is avoiding confrontation, hoping things will just shift on their own, but it won't. And it sounds like that's the partner who's doing the avoiding. You show up as the Queen of Coins. You're grounded, you're devoted. Again, this loyalty, doing your duty, the sense of duty to the relationship. No matter whether this is a new relationship or an old one, you have the sense of duty, I guess, to the connection. You're still choosing to invest in it despite the exhaustion, despite the lack of accountability, and blaming you for the issues. You're still offering space. But I feel like you're also beginning to turn away from it and develop a sense of worth about yourself. I think you're starting to see what the situation is. And even though you're still investing in it, still giving to it, you're realizing that this is their character flaw and not yours. That you're showing up fully, maybe too much. But in recognizing this, it's enhancing your self-value and worth. So you're beginning to recognize that about yourself. But I also feel like you're holding on to this relationship because of a sense of security that it gives you. That you find satisfying. So that's also a dilemma or a conflict that you need to resolve as well. That makes sense. Your partner shows up as the Ten of Cups. So they want emotional closeness. They want a future. This is someone who still envisions a life with you. And maybe that's what's so enticing, what keeps you investing, is the fact that they are 100% in. It's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, really. It's hard to explain. I feel like with the Two of Wands and Falsita, the two of you are looking ahead again in the future. Still bonded, still connected. And you're considering what's coming next. But there's still emotional withholding from the partner. Still lack of accountability. Still a selfishness on their end. Still dishonesty, perhaps, from them. The justice can be dishonesty as well. Falsita says someone's not being 100% honest, and that's because they can't be. It's in their nature. Their nature is to be selfish, to put themselves first, to want to protect their self-interest before anything or anyone else. It says that their nature, their needs, their past, even their fears and insecurities will always be a disruptor to this connection. That's what these cards are saying. It's not a malicious thing. It's self-protective in nature, but it's a block that you can't cure. You can't cure. You can't carry. It's not your responsibility. It's their character flaw to fix. Yet they want to give you, they envision a life with you. They want to give you full commitment. And that's what you want. I feel like the love here is true on both ends. I feel like there is love. But I don't feel that there is the emotional support and wholeness that you need for your fulfillment. But at the same time, you're making a choice. You're making a decision between that and security, and you're choosing security. You're being Falsita too. And it's a choice. It's a sacrifice, I guess, you feel you must make in order to have that security. I see that neither of you want to let go. You both want to hold on to this as it is. So let's go through the columns real quick. You can see the columns. I got to do something about this camera angle. Just can't get it all in. Hold on, let me just push the cards down so you can try and see them all. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right. So, you've been carrying this connection for a while. You've gone from stressed and burdened to deeply patient, and now you're stepping into your worth, right? You may be gaining a sense of value and worth, realizing what it is you are all about, what you're capable of, seeing and recognizing that, and also recognizing what they're capable of, and calling a spade a spade. I think that you're still willing to give to this relationship, however, because of what they want to offer you. And you've resigned yourself to their character flaws. Maybe you're telling yourself, well, I guess they just speak a different love language than me. And you have sacrificed having your love language fulfilled in order to have that relationship, that long-term connection, that family, whatever. And you're accepting they just don't speak your love language, right? The partner is the Three of Wands, Justice reversed, Ten of Cups. The partner has been in observation mode, possibly detached, stuck in their head, blaming circumstances on you or others and not themselves. And by the end of the month, they want to step back in. Their emotional desire is real. They want happiness with you. They may reach out to make some sort of demonstration towards you, right? Because they may be sensing that there's opportunity with you, that you might step, that you might leave, because they sense your self-worth growing. So they may make some sort of demonstration towards you around the end of the month. But it's more of, it's more of holding on to you for safety and security reasons than it is because it's not that they don't love you, it's just that their priority is their own security and stability first. And you kind of share that. They're more extreme though. They sense your loyalty as well, and they may use that or manipulate those strings. But they don't want to lose you here. So Spirit says they don't want to lose you, so they may make some sort of effort to hold on to you. I don't know how that will play out. It'll play out in different ways for different people. And I see that this pulling your strings is going to work. Right? Column 2 represents the relationship. So we got Five of Cups reversed, Nine of Wands, and the Five of Swords with their clarifiers. This connection has been a battlefield full of regrets, resistance, exhaustion, ego. But it's also been a climb back to love. You do love, and I see you making a decision. I see you making a decision with the Two of Wands to hang in there. And it's for selfish reasons on your part, as well as it is for selfish reasons on their part. That's what you have in common. Different degrees of the same energy. So, final outcome for this relationship. One looks ahead and plans for more. In new love, someone explores the connection for the long-term potential. In existing love, the relationship expands with future decisions on the horizon. But there's still a mask, and someone's still holding back emotionally, and that's the final hurdle. That's the final hurdle. I just don't think it's going to be jumped, because I feel like it's the partner that has to put in the work, and I don't feel like they're going to. That doesn't mean the relationship won't work. The prediction for this couple is that one of you sees the long-term potential in a new relationship, even though there's emotional withholding and past wounds still getting in the way of the full connection. There's attraction and genuine interest, but someone's not fully open, likely the partner, and this could delay or distort emotional closeness. However, I still see you invested. For existing couples, you both still want this, right? And there's a decision made to keep going forward together, but emotional honesty is still being blocked. There's loyalty and shared future vision, but with falsita, the relationship will hit or repeat loops unless someone stops hiding their fears and starts owning their truth. But that's not your job. It's not your job to carry this person's weaknesses. That's not your job. Your job is to work on yourself, live and let live, and love yourself and treat others as you would have them treat you. That's the only thing you can control and do on your part. But you've been carrying their load. So my advice to you, for anyone in a new relationship dealing with this energy, is don't try to fix the other person. Let them show up without you overgiving, which is part of your nature that you need to work on. Stay curious and grounded. If they won't open up after a certain amount of time and space, then maybe you're better off investing with someone else who's more emotionally available, because this person isn't. So protect your heart, but stay open. For those of you in existing relationships, right, it said the relationship expands with future decisions on the horizon. I feel like you've carried this relationship on your shoulders long enough. It's okay to keep loving, but you don't have to carry their burdens. You need to step back emotionally, or it's suggested that you step back emotionally enough to see if they're going to meet you halfway. Try that. Put that in action and see what happens. Okay? Do they meet you halfway? And let value do the talking. If they truly want a future with you, then they'll show it with consistent, honest action and not with emotional breadcrumbs, right? And carrot sticks. So I feel like you deserve to be met emotionally, not just held on to. And right now, that's what's happening. But it's a mutual thing. They may want forever, but do you want forever with this? That's what you need to ask yourself. So that's pile number 1. Hope that you enjoyed it. Now, let's move on to pile number 2. Pile number 2 was Jade. Let's, hold on. Let's lay out your pile. You got the 4 of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, clarified by Amuleto. Got, the 10 of Swords, the Nine of Swords, got a lot of swords, Hierophant, clarified by the enemy, El Nemico, Death, the Moon. This is going to be a challenging month for pile number 2. The Knight of Cups and La Vecchia Signora, the Seven of Swords, and finishing with the Knight of Wands, clarified by De Niro reversed. So, let me just take a drink of coffee and absorb the reading. I think this relationship has gone through some kind of a shift with the Wheel of Fortune. A change, a major shift or change. Something that you weren't expecting. And honestly, it wasn't for the better. If it's being clarified by the Ten of Swords and next to it an amuleto clarifying it, it wasn't a shift for the better. It didn't turn in your favor. It threw everything off course. May have been a chaotic event, sudden shift or change. With amuleto, protection was there, but so was fear, control, emotional shutdown. It's like you kept praying. See you praying here for something to shift, but nothing really did. Or it shifted in the wrong direction. Maybe your prayers got answered, but not the way you wanted it answered. I see you pulling back. I see you've pulled back. This is in the past or could be your present energy. You've kind of withdrawn, gone into recovery mode. You needed time to regroup after the shift or change or ending that happened. You needed time to get space, to heal physically and mentally, because you're not over it. You're still processing this. And then the partner's energy is the Ten of Swords. It looks like they hit some sort of a wall and they felt defeated, maybe even betrayed, or maybe they did the betraying because they have the Seven of Swords in their line. That might have been what threw everything out of rhythm. There might have been a betrayal or something like that that ended things between you. It's hard to say who. This energy is feeling completely defeated, betrayed, emotionally drained after a painful ending or cycle. They still carry baggage or trauma from past events. And it could be because the connection ended in pain or betrayal. And there's a sense of irreversible damage to overcome. It's hard to see who caused the betrayal so far, even though I think, because I see the Seven of Swords in their line, that they did. But they feel badly hurt. So that's what's throwing me off. They feel like the victim. They may be holding on to an old story that keeps them stuck, that they haven't let go of. There's some kind of a rupture here that happened or will happen early in the month. Okay? Either you come into the month with this energy or it's something that will happen early in the month. You'll retreat for peace, but they will collapse under it. something happens that's really messy between you and it's unresolved. Let's move on to row 2 and let's see what that says. More like the middle of the month, present energy, 9 of Swords, Hierophant, the enemy, and the Death card. So the Hierophant as a challenge. Sorry, my nails are hard to pick up these cards. It's a challenge to avoid rigid expectations that could limit emotional growth and true connection. Chastity may be a challenge, religion may be a challenge, marriage or the commitment could be challenges. Faithfulness could be a challenge. Because we see the betrayal and we see someone doing something shady behind the other's back. And we've got the enemy here too, another shady individual hiding something, wearing a mask, holding a snake, affecting the relationship, the commitment. What used to feel solid and sacred, a marriage, tradition, trust, now feels hollow or deceptive. Ilnamiko warns of hidden motives at play. Someone saying the right things but doing the opposite, and loyalty and faithfulness is in question, and your energy is stressed. You're the 9 of Swords, overthinking, losing sleep. You keep going over old conversations, trying to make sense of it all, praying for answers, praying for resolution, praying it's not really happening. Afraid of what life will be after this, what life will be like after this, change or transformation that's coming as a result of all this, and things won't be the same. The partner is death. So they feel something is ending, they're detaching emotionally or sensing an unavoidable transformation in the connection. And I think it's as a result of their actions or something that got found out or discovered. They're emotionally detaching, however. It's not that they don't care. It's just that they're already preparing. It's over. They feel it's over. It's done. And they're already preparing for life after this. So this feels like some sort of an ending that happened in the past over some kind of betrayal or tryst. You're against it. You're afraid of life after, what life will be like after this ending. They're already preparing for it and closing off. And they already know that things can't go back to the way it used to be. So you're deep in your head. They're already 1 foot out emotionally. And the trust between you is shite. Okay? As we continue towards the end of the month, we have the Moon, the Knight of Cups, clarified by La Vecchia Signore, or Signora, sorry. La Vecchia Signora. And then we have the 7 of Swords and the Knight of Wands and Denieri reversed. So you're confused. Well, let's read the challenge card first. Your challenge is to see if this is real love or just sweet talk. In pursuit of your passion, the challenge is to see if you are romanticizing the idea more than the reality. Someone's intention may be to offer love or affection, but this may be driven by fantasy or emotion. Long-term problems feel unclear or too big to face. So what that tells me is there may be some sweet talk, some sweet words that are being said in the future. Maybe an apology or a romantic gesture. I'm not sure who's reaching out, if it's you to try and mend things or if it's them to get away with something. I just feel like these energies are so strong. It could play out in so many different ways that it. Anyway, I'm gonna trust what the path I'm on. La Vecchia Signora says that you've been here before. You've heard these words before. This ain't nothing new. This is old energy and recycled promises. It feels familiar, but can you trust it? Right? So someone's coming back around, trying to mend things, trying to put it back together after it's all fallen apart. You are the moon. You're confused. You want to believe in love. You want to believe in healing, but you're picking up on things that don't feel right. You're sensing things that don't feel right. You may be hiding your true feelings or unsure what to believe. You've heard all this before, so I think it's them reaching out to you. Their card is the Seven of Swords. Their future actions is to talk a good game to deceive. Yes, it's them. Their future actions is to talk a good game to receive. They will avoid responsibility, act in secret, or withhold the truth to protect themselves or to gain back control. So they're not going to be honest with you. They're not being honest, and you sense what you sense is real. But you're under you want to believe because your feelings are confused. You're probably too overly invested, more so than they are. And it's hard to break that spell. It's hard to come out of it once you're in it. But they're not being honest with you. I do feel they may reach out, but they're still dodging the truth, not admitting the truth, not giving you the full truth. There's still obscurity and lies. But you don't want to see the truth. You're praying that somehow it can all be made better. They're being very charming, but avoidant at the same time, right? The spark comes back. They may, sounds like some sort of passion between you, but it's not stable. So this relationship may have come to an end. There's a period of distance and then there may be a reapproach towards the end of the month, using their charm and persuasion upon you. There may be a passionate return. Or the passion may return between you. And there may be sex, is what I'm trying to say. But the root issues are still there, being avoided. Denari reverse confirms that this reignition of passion between you isn't built to last unless the truth gets dealt with. So I feel like there's going to be some kind of a change around the end of the month, or maybe around in January, coming back around, that may lead to passionate involvement, but it's not likely to last. It's not likely to stay or stick around. It could fizzle out because someone is still withholding, still hiding, still avoiding, still lying, still cheating, and it's more of the same. Reading the columns, I see you retreating or in retreat, trying to recover from a difficult ending in the beginning of the month. Trying to make sense of things, praying desperately, and wanting to avoid the truth. But the path is foggy, and you haven't got clarity. The partner, they're the Ten of Swords, Death, and the Seven of Swords. I wouldn't trust this person. Also, with the enemy next, I wouldn't trust this person as far as I could throw him. But that's on you. I'm just the reader. I'm just the messenger. All I can do is read the energy, tell you what I think. And you make your decisions, your choices. They're emotionally shut down. They may be even acting like the victim, even though they're the ones who stabbed you in the back. Right? They're keeping secrets and being avoidant. And they're dodging real accountability. Reading the relationship in the center column. Wheel of Fortune, Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups. Relationship had purpose. Something sacred at the start, but it's been chipped away by ego and lies and fear or cheating. Now you're stuck in a pattern of maybe instead of building real trust. So I feel like they could come on strong, but they're not ready to be real with you. And you'll sense this. Your gut knows. If you rush in or rush back into this, you will end up disappointed. The cards are saying, right? I'm telling you. The charm will fade and the mask will stay on. And if you're that's if you're a new relationship. You should make tracks. That's just my opinion. If you're in an existing couple, then it's possible that after an event that may bring you to the brink of divorce, if not divorce, considering divorce, talking divorce, that sort of thing, or a total ending, that there could be a reach out at the towards the end to reestablish things. But you've heard these promises before. And you're likely to share passion again, a deeper moment that confuses you even further. but it's just pretend. And the cycle is likely to repeat. I'm not going to lie to you. Advice from Spirit is to slow down. Watch what they do, and not just what they, don't listen to just what they say, watch what they do. Ask yourself if you feel really safe. If you don't feel safe, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, then it's just passion, it's just chemistry, it's just hormones. For couples, your advice is to slow down. Stop trying to fix it alone. If they can't meet you with truth and honesty, and I think they love to like gaslight you and give you obscure reasoning, leave you questioning rather than feeling answered. They need to meet you with more truth. You deserve that. So it's up to you. Spirit is giving you its advice. If you like this reading, I know it was a tough one, but these cards are raw. I'm not going to lie to you. I made them to be raw. It says it on the cover. Raw, untamed relationship readings. It tells you the truth. If you're interested in this deck, it's available on my Etsy. My Etsy shop is called Wingseer, Wingseer. There's a link to the cards in the description box. Also, if you'd like a personal reading, if you're going through this, we could go deeper. My information is in the description box. You could also reach out to my Etsy to book a 1-question, 2-question, or 3-question reading. All right, so that's pile number 2. Let's move on to pile number 3. This video is getting long. All right, if you picked the amethyst, you picked pile number 3. Let's lay out your cards. We got the Emperor, 6 of Cups. Let's hope this is a good one. Love Fidelta, the dog. Oh, the devil. Then we've got the 2 of Coins, the 2 of Cups, the Doctore, the 4 of Coins, and we have the 2 of Swords. We got 3 2s. Oh, we got another 2. The High Priestess is like a 2. And Bambino, Page of Coins, 5 of Wands, and Lucrezia, the butterfly. All right, so let's start at the top. So let's look at the challenge card for pile number 3. You've got the 6 of Cups and Love Fidelta. So the challenge may be to differentiate between nostalgia, reality, ensuring the past doesn't interfere with the present opportunities. And then the Love Fidelta's dog is like a loyalty. This could be some kind of a soulmate or karmic tie, an intense, emotional, nostalgic one. You might feel like this person in your life that you're dating or that you're tied to is your soulmate, right? We've got soulmate, 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 soulmate. Got ties here, spiritual ties here. This is a strong soulmate relationship. You may have known each other in lifetimes past. I feel you do. But the past is the challenge. You're tempted to slip into what used to be rather than face what is now. The dog says there's loyalty, but is it healthy? Is this relationship healthy? There's loyalty, but is it healthy? You're the Emperor. So your energy is serious-minded, maybe stubborn, but you think long-term. You want control. You also want stability and structure. So you want stability, clarity, commitment. You're tired of guessing, but you're also holding firm to this relationship, maybe too firm. The Emperor plays it safe through control, not vulnerability. The Devil represents your partner, person's energy. This energy may feel desperate, obsessed, or trapped in a toxic cycle of desire, attachment, or unhealthy patterns. Excuse me, sorry about that. So this person is in a deep locked-in cycle, whether it's an addiction or an obsession, a fear or of abandonment or power, struggles between you. Maybe you have power struggles. They could be in something that has its claws in them. They could be tied to you, but they're also tied to something darker that keeps sabotaging the connection. Something in the past. With the Two of Cups in the center, there is love here, deep love, mutual love. Deep down, you both want this connection, but the challenge is emotional balance. Struggles with emotional reciprocity, needing balance and mutual commitment, needs to work through misalignment to keep the connection strong. You both want this connection, but one of you may be giving more than the other. See, the doctor is in a strong authority place while the other is weak. Doctoria is trying to fix it. Could be that you're trying to fix it, or I feel like you're trying to fix the situation, but you can't fix what the other won't face. It's kind of the same theme as the other readings. That's the imbalance. You can't fix what the other won't face. I don't care how tight the bond is. With the Two of Coins as your energy, you feel frustrated by the inconsistency. You're sensing you're not being made a priority, or that they're unsure about what they want. You're trying to stay flexible. You're trying not to get weighed down, but you feel it. How you're not being chosen fully. You're juggling hope and frustration. One minute it feels okay to be in this connection because there's so much familiarity and rapport. And then the next minute it feels like it's spinning out of control because of their demons or whatever it is they're dealing with. Their energy is the Four of Coins. So they feel guarded and protective. They hold back their feelings out of fear or need for control. They don't want to lose you, but they're afraid of vulnerability and change. A lot of fear in this person. Too much fear. It's unhealthy. I feel like they're gonna be very possessive too. They don't want to let you go. They're afraid to lose you and they don't want to let you go. Even though they're not able to let go of whatever is sabotaging the connection, whatever their dark trait is or toxic quality. But they don't know how to love you in a way that feels free. They're so afraid. They're so afraid that they hold back and hold on. I feel like you're dancing on a tightrope here, trying to maintain balance, trying to keep your control and your cool. They're locked inside their own walls, dealing with their own issues. And the connection is strong, but it's uneven, it's unbalanced, it's not healthy. One person is carrying too much. It's the same theme as in my other readings. It's just playing out in different ways. I guess that's the theme of December. Sorry guys, I just shuffle them. Towards the end of the month, we've got the High Priestess with Bambino, Two of Swords, Page of Pentacles, Five of Wands with Lucrezia. Something new is growing beneath all this, but it's invisible now. The challenge is that nothing is being said. There's secrets, there's quiet decisions, there's silent hopes that fill the air. There could be a new beginning, possibly even a child. For some of you, but I don't want to get into that. I say that because Bambino showed up. That will keep you connected. So, pregnancy alert to those of you in new relationships or even existing ones. There could be a new beginning, but only if truth gets spoken. That's what I'm going to say. There could be a new beginning for the two of you, but only if truth gets spoken. But you're avoiding the next step. Maybe you're exhausted, maybe you're scared, but your silence is starting to say more than your words ever could. You choose to ignore and avoid making a decision, or you'll stay silent, leaving the situation unresolved for now. You're just trying to go with the flow. You're just trying to keep things even and balanced. Just trying to get through December, I guess. It's hard for me to tell what exactly the issue is, other than it's something that the partner is dealing with that's coming between the two of you. It's not coming out real clear what that issue is. So that's why I'm kind of like choppy in this reading, because it's not clear to me. I do feel like, again, here we get the same theme, partner reaching out towards the end of the month. offering something but small, a message, a gesture. They want to build. They're tentatively moving towards you to communicate. They're testing the waters and seeing what will stick. Oops, running out of battery. We're going to have to come back and finish this in a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that. The battery pack died. So we're going to finish this reading out. We left off on the Page of Coins. So the partner is likely to reach out. They may offer something small, a message, a gesture. They want to build with you, but they're being cautious. This may be a little bit too late. Maybe they want to talk. Maybe they want to discuss things. Maybe they want to work something out. But they're testing the waters to see, without really being committed to swimming. With the Five of Wands and La Grazia as the outcome, there's still conflict and emotional clutter, fighting for control, pressure, and misaligned priorities. The butterfly says it best: something beautiful could take flight, but you're both weighed down by the baggage. Neither of you is fully free. So you're holding back, they're inching forward. You're holding back, they're inching forward. But tension and confusion and miscommunication still run the show. A new beginning wants to be born, right? A new beginning wants to be born, but the atmosphere isn't safe enough yet. So reading the columns. Reading the columns. You're the Emperor. You want stability. You're unsure how to get it with this person, right? You try to stay balanced, but you're on edge. Eventually, you're going to shut down and stop deciding. And that leaves things in limbo between you. The partner's energy is the Devil, the Four of Coins, and the Page of Coins. So they feel the tie. This may be like a twin soul tie. I never really believed in that, but I would say that this is probably that, where the connection is strong, is bound by the past lifetimes that you've spent together and lessons that you need to learn with one another, but there's something about it that's toxic and very karmic. They feel the tie, but they're scared, full of fear. They don't know how to change. But they still reach out. It's not malicious, but it's limited in its scope. They want you, but they don't know how to hold you right. They want to hold on to you, but they don't know how to hold you right. So as far as a relationship goes, we've got the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, and the High Priestess. So this is a soul connection. This is real love for sure. But too many things are going unspoken. Too many inner battles are bleeding into the bond. And the relationship knows what it wants, but both of you keep getting in its way. So I would say there's emotional tension, ego battles, emotional tension, ego battles. Conflict, competition, ego disrupts. In new love, sparks lead to tension instead of bonding. In existing love, constant disagreement or power struggles wear down the connection. That's the outcome. So this is a soulmate bond wrapped in power struggles. Both of you want each other. But fear, control, addictions are blocking the flow. One is holding on too tight and the other is pulling away to protect themselves. Is there any hope for this relationship? Yes, there's hope. The Doctor is here. But it requires change on the partner's part. Real change on the partner's part. But you both need to drop the armor and speak the truth and face the real issues. No more dodging or ignoring the situation. This can work if you stop repeating the cycle and finally choose something new. Finally choose something new. And you're not crazy for wanting more, but if you keep silencing your truth to keep the peace, you keep silencing your truth just to keep the peace, you're going to stay stuck. So speak up, even if it feels destructive, it's constructive, right? Choose peace over control and make space for real connection, not just a hopeful one. Spirit's advice for the relationship is, if you want this to bloom, you're going to both have to pull the weeds. Just you pull yours and let them pull theirs, okay? Know that love is still is present, but it's hidden underneath a lot of ego and fear and unspoken expectations. And talking it out is what Spirit recommends over silence. Maybe you need a third party to objectively have those conversations. Doctor could represent like a therapist. And that's what Spirit recommends, okay? For this relationship. If it's a new relationship, I would say get out before you get in. That's what I would say. Get out before you get in. All right, so that's your reading, guys. That's pile number 3. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a thumbs up and share the video. Subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. If you'd like the cards in the reading, it's called the Love Dynamics deck, and that's available at my Etsy shop, Wingseer, Wingseer. There's a link to it in the description box. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Bye.